In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the tech zone.
Back to our live coverage here at CES 2020. I am Paul Amadeus Lane. It's been an action-packed week, action-packed day, action-packed hour, minute, you name it. But we love being here at CES 2020, just being able to talk to you about some of the great technology out there, but not just the technology, but some of the terminologies coming out of CES 2020 as well, too. I talked about it on the show yesterday. IoT, we think of it as the Internet of Things, but at a talk we were at Saturday where VP of Research Steve Koenig from CTA said the intelligence of things. So we're starting to see how everything is connected that can help us out in our everyday lives, and it's amazing. It's an amazing time. Remember, you can always connect with me, PaulAmadeusLane.com, ABC News Radio KMET. You can check out the podcast. You can do all the things. If you're missing the show live, just make sure you don't miss this segment right here. You may say, why? Well, if you have an aging parent or a grandparent, or maybe someone with a disability, and you really want to be able to check on them so that they can have their measure of independence still, but you can help them out. Well, my next guest is going to talk about what his innovation is doing to help meet the challenge when it comes to this. So I'm so happy right now to have with me Ryan Hurd, who is the founder and president of CareGIVER Smart Solutions. Ryan, what's up, my friend? Welcome to the program.
Hey, Paul. How you doing? Thank you for having us on here.
Hey, it's my honor to have you on. This is something I'm really passionate about, Ryan.
Right.
I know, and our good friend Pam Golden reached out to me and told me about your product. I was like, yes, Pam, this is something we definitely want to talk about, because it's something that we need out there. I mean, Ryan, all of us have parents or our grandparents or relatives or even people we love who we may not be related to.
Right.
But we care about them. And sometimes they can be a little, I don't want to say stubborn, and we're like watching over them and things like that. But so Ryan, tell me what your organization is doing with this innovation that really helps bridge that gap.
Right. So, CareGIVer Smart Solution, we're answering that fundamental question, which is, how are they doing? Right? We're trying to enable your loved one to live home longer while we reduce your stress, because being a caregiver, it's stressful, it's time consuming, and it's isolating.
That's true. That is so true. So talk about what made you want to create this this company, this innovation in the first place. Was it a personal situation, or maybe a family member or friends? Please share that with us, my friend.
Sure. So a little background on myself. I've been in the tech industry for 29 years, specifically IoT and smart tech. I'm actually known as Ryan Hurd, the smart guy, because I wrote the book on smart home called Join the Smart Home Revolution.
That is you, Ryan.
Thank you.
I knew the name sounded familiar. It's the Ryan Hurd, guys.
I appreciate that. Well, everything's going good on that side of the world, and then my father has cancer. Not once, but twice. And you know what? He's tough as nails, so he fought his way through it, and he's doing fine. But I'm his caregiver, so that makes me more stressed out and concerned than ever. And being the smart guy, I figured I would find something, buy it, put it in, and everything would be fine. And then I start realizing that nothing exists on this side. Why can't I just open up an app and see how Dad's doing? You know, is he up? Is he walking around? Is he taking his meds? You know, just the basics. So that's what led me down this path, and here we are, CareGIVer Smart Solutions.
I love it, Ryan. And talk about how, since you've been in the tech field for many years, talk about the technology that exists today that makes this, what I have in my hand, that people can see out there, possible. You know, how?
So what we're doing is we're using tiny. Well, actually, let me go back a little bit, right? So we are at the Super Bowl of technology. This
Absolutely.
is CES, and you see some of the most amazing stuff on the show floor, from cars to drones to you name it. This is really the first time where smart home is doing more than just the mundane. You know, I mean, hey, I love smart home, and I'm a techie at heart, but turning on and off the TV is one thing, and lights and shades, and that's all great. But this is where smart home starts really affecting us as humans to help us. It helps us with our loved ones. Now, let me tell you what we're not. we're not a camera. I mean, you don't want a camera in your house. My grandma definitely doesn't want a camera in her house. Number 2, we're not trying to change anybody's habits. Have you ever tried to change the habit of an 80-year-old? It's not going to happen.
We're going through that right now with my parents, Ryan. So I definitely.
And how's that going for you?
Not good at all. We had to acquiesce.
I give up. Exactly. So you're not going to change the habit. And number 3, we're not a wearable because our aging loved ones, listen, they're just not wearing them. Let me tell you what we are. We are tiny, non-invasive sensors that are placed discreetly throughout the home. And what we're doing is we're taking a look at your loved one's habits because we believe a habit is an indicator of your health. For example, if mom gets up, let's say, twice a night and goes to the bathroom and that's her habit, great, green check mark, everything is fine. But let's say she gets up 5 times overnight, 3 nights in a row, that could be an issue. That's something you want to know because that could be a urinary tract infection. Now, that's just one thing we're doing, but we're doing so much more.
Wow. You know, that's something we never thought about, being able to track that. And let's talk about when we look at this technology with the smart home technology and things like that, we sometimes just think of, oh, I can tell Alexa to turn on my thermostat, I can do all this. But this is real life things that can help improve the quality of life of our aging and adult population, maybe ones with disabilities, but even like the caregivers too, because as caregivers, we get kind of stressed out too because we worry, we're concerned about them, and to have something like this to give us the peace of mind, it's really awesome. Now, so you have a box right there.
I do.
And explain to us what's all in that particular box right there.
So this is our deluxe kit. This is our biggest kit that we have, and what it has is it has a bunch of sensors. But in this kit, we're monitoring everything from bathroom visits. We're monitoring how many times we're opening up the refrigerator. We're monitoring sleep quality. So it's important that we get 6 to 8 hours of sleep. But if mom is getting up once every hour, that's something you want to know. And what we're really doing is we're facilitating the insights. We're giving you the insights on your apps so you can ask the right question, which is, hey, Ma, how you doing? What does she always say? I'm fine. Yeah. But now you see something like that, and you're like, I saw that you were up all last night. And it might be nothing. It might be, hey, whatever I ate last night just didn't agree with me. All right, it happens. We're also looking at fall detection. We're monitoring fall detection, TV time. We're monitoring a whole bunch of things through this Deluxe Plus kit.
And what I like about it, as I'm looking at the website right now, you can put these sensors strategically in places. So let's say if someone has like a 5-bedroom, not a 5-bedroom house, but a 5-room house.
Yeah, absolutely.
And where's the best place to strategically put the sensors so you can maximize the coverage?
Right. Well, we want to put them like it's really a combination between what we need to get out of it, and these sensors are really good, so they're very, very wide. They're the smallest sensors on the market, and we want to respect our loved ones, their space. So we want it to be hidden as much as possible. Now, with that said, don't put it behind a door. Kind of put it in the corners. Kind of look at where your loved one is. You know, she's in her bed, so kind of put it across the room. We just want to get an idea of what's going on. Same thing in the bathroom. Listen, I don't care what mom does in the bathroom. All I want to know is she's going into the bathroom, and every couple of days she's taking a shower. That's it.
I love it. I love it. And Ryan, what I would like to do as we continue on is really hit some of the points that I think that your website really just makes us to think about the things, and that is we want to know in advance. Let's go through that and why is that so important.
So one of the problems with the product that's on the market already is everything is reactive. It's the pendant with a button on it. Now, there's a couple of issues with that. Number one, it's like I'm going to Dad and I'm saying, hey, do me a favor. If something happens, push the button. Okay, well, that's one thing. And we know that they're not wearing them and they're forgetting them and they're not charging it up, and it's all those things, right? But the other issue is a lot of times the industry is building all these high-tech things for themselves, which will be great when we get older, but they don't really understand our aging loved ones. So what I mean by that is the 75 to 95-year-olds. If we're talking about our 75-year-old father, he was out of the workforce for 10 years. I mean, what kind of technology did we have 10 years ago? It was the flip phone. It was tactile buttons. iPhone wasn't even around yet. It was video intercom. It wasn't Zoom. It wasn't FaceTime. It was a big Polycom system that you had to go into a boardroom for. Or we talk about our 95-year-old grandmothers, and guess what? She went through the Depression. It was all about don't spy on me and independence. So understanding their psychology, they're technologically adverse, even though they do have the iPhones and iPads, but ask them to upload an app and there's an issue. So we want to respect that, and what we're trying to do is really just fundamentally answering that question, which is how are they doing? Giving you the ability as a caregiver to know how they're doing, and on their end, knowing somebody's got your back, because they're deathly afraid of that situation we've all heard where maybe mom's in the shower and she slips and falls and nobody finds her for 2 days. So knowing this, we got your back.
And why is it so important? I think you and I know this personally, but for ones out there who may not know, who may not have a parent who is sick or elderly or infirm or a family member, is why there's no reason for us to wait for a catastrophe.
Right.
And be proactive.
Well, give you an idea, we have 3 kits. We've got the basic kit, we've got Deluxe and Deluxe Plus, and we did it for specifically that reason. So, for example, our smallest kit, our basic kit, that's when we just had holiday, right? So we just had Thanksgiving and we had New Year's. So let's say you saw Grandma over New Year's, and she's always been spunky, but she's just not as maybe with it or quick as she used to be. I'm not saying anything's wrong with her. I'm just saying that's the first time you notice that mom or dad or grandma, whoever your loved one is, I'm a little concerned. Enter our basic kit. You just want to know the basics. Are they moving around? Are they eating? Are they using the bathroom? Are they taking their medicines? That's it. And there, with a simple look at the app, you know that all is well, and if something's amiss, you'll know that too.
The basic kit. That's is anything but basic with all that power in there, but I understand why you call it the basic kit. But then you have the deluxe kit. And what comes in the deluxe kit?
So now we're talking about maybe your loved one's having a little bit of a harder time getting around. And I'm not saying anything's really bad, but she's getting older or he's getting older, and now we're more and more concerned. So now we're looking at things like doors. We're looking at more habits of that individual. We want to know that they're okay. And again, we're all about being proactive. So as I was saying before, everything on the market is technology, and that's great, but it's reactive. It's waiting for an event to happen. We're proactive. So the earlier that we can get in, the more information we can give you, because guess what? When you call your loved one and you say, "Ma, how you doing?" What does she say?
I'm fine.
Right, and understand it has nothing to do with hiding anything. It's because of their belief system. They never want to be a burden on you. So we understand that, but being a caregiver is burdensome, and just having a little bit of that information beforehand changes the game.
That is so true. That is so true, and just that peace of mind, for family members is. And now with the app,
yes,
can multiple family members check in on the parents, or is it just like a one person, one user?
So it is multiple people. So let's say you have siblings. You can have as many versions of the app as you want, as well as there is some customization that you can do. So for example, let's say you have a sister, and your sister, she's very empathetic, and she wants to know exactly how mom's doing. Every time she goes into the bathroom, every time she opens up the refrigerator, every time she does all of these actions. Well, you know what? And we can blow up that phone. We can send all of those notifications to her, and that's fine. And maybe yourself, I just want to know if something big is happening. If there's a real issue, you can get that too.
I love it. And we talked about the Deluxe Plus kit.
Right.
And that's the granddaddy of them all, right?
So Deluxe Plus, this is our most powerful kit. So it has everything that we talked about before and adds so much more. Here's where we're talking about sleep quality. We're talking about fall detection. We're talking about hygiene. We're talking about even monitoring for things like water intake. So if we're looking at mom making her coffee or making her tea, and if she's going to the bathroom and she's moving around and she's opening up the fridge, having that circular motion, we know that everything is okay. But if something is out, so in other words, let's say if she is opening up the refrigerator and she's moving around, but she's not going to the bathroom, that could be dehydration. And one of the issues there is that dehydration is a precursor to a fall. And guess what? When we're talking about our elderly loved ones, we definitely don't want them to fall. So again, being proactive, giving you the ability to know how are they doing.
I tell you, Ryan, where we're at in the stream of time when it comes to technology is It's phenomenal. I've been coming to CES for about 20 years myself, and to see where we came from. I remember sitting and talking with the late great Jim Barry just about how things are going with technology, and to see where it's at today, where you have sensors, where you have all the smart technology, and talk about just any challenges that you guys had when you were creating this, and how you overcame the challenge with making sure everything meshed together and everything worked. How did you guys overcome those challenges?
So, a lot of things in life is about timing, right? So there's been some things in the past that have tried to do things like this. And one of the issues is that technology wasn't there yet. Well, now not only do we have the benefit of smart things and IoT and tiny sensors, we also have the benefit of things like machine learning and AI. So think of it like this. We're leveraging machine learning. Think of that as the big record button. So the first 2 or 3 weeks that this is in your loved one's house, we're recording their habits. We're getting that baseline of all the nuances that your mom or grandma or dad has. And then from there, we're adding AI on top of it. So all of those ancillary things, that's what we're looking at. And the power of today and what we're doing in our solution is we're taking all these tiny sensors and we're multiplexing things together. So we're looking at a whole bunch of things and we're seeing all those nuances of mom. For example, let's say we know that mom vacuums the house every Wednesday because we see her going in and out of all the rooms. Now, over time, we start noticing that she's walking around a little bit slower. She's shuffling instead of walking, and she's kind of going in and out the rooms Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That could be an indicator of early onset dementia. Those are the kind of things that we're looking for.
Wow.
Again, proactive. Yeah. Now it gives you the ability to ask the right questions. Let me tell you a quick story really quick. So once my father had cancer and he beat it, well, one of the problems with cancer is that you have to take a lot of medicine afterwards. And I've always asked the question, Dad, are you taking your meds? And of course, it's yes.
Yeah.
And that's great. So now I designed the system, I put the system in. And what I realized is a couple of things. Yes, he's taking the medicine, but I was asking the wrong question, and here's why. He basically takes 3 groups of medicine. He takes medicine in the morning, and he takes medicine at night. But then I always saw him taking medicine at 1 o'clock. So I'm thinking, okay, what's that all about? Well, the 1 o'clock medicine is what he's taking for his neuropathy. So that's when your legs, you can't feel your legs, you can't feel your feet. That's the most important medicine. The early AM and the PM can be taken, 8 to 10 o'clock day or night. It's kind of like vitamins. As long as it's in your system, it's fine. But that 1 o'clock, that was the most important thing. So now I set an indicator so I know that he takes his 1 o'clock. So if it's 1:15 or 1:30, I start getting a yellow flag. And if it's 2 o'clock, I'm calling Dad. So again, it's providing me the insights to ask the right questions. And the right question wasn't, Dad, are you taking your meds? It was, Dad, are you taking the 1 o'clock?
Yeah, the right questions, and I'm as we're talking, I'm just my brain is working a mile a minute. I'm like, yes, that just I never thought about that. And to have this piece of innovation, it's truly amazing. Now, does it work on Android and iOS
yes.
phones for the apps?
So the app does work on Android and iPhone. The system, we do need internet access in your loved one's home. All of these sensors talk to what's called a hub, so they communicate. Everything is encrypted from the sensor all the way up to our cloud and over to your phone.
Wow. I love it. Ryan, anything else out there you'd like to articulate to the audience or the viewer out there just about CareGIVer Smart Solution? It's awesome.
At the end of the day, it's the little things that matter, and those are the things that we're looking at. Because again, if we're trying to answer that fundamental question, which is how are they doing, this is how we do it from CareGIVer Smart Solutions.
I love it. How can we find out more information and keep up to date on all the great things that you guys are doing, right?
Well, thank you. Obviously, you can take a look at caregiversmartsolutions.com. And you can also call us at 888-585-5022.
Awesome. Well, Ryan, great catching up with you and chatting with you. And,
thank you.
You've been in the game a long time. What's been the biggest transformation that you've personally seen in tech over the years?
Wow, I got to tell you, I've seen a lot of tech. I guess, honestly, one of the most amazing things, I just walked through the car audio pavilion, and, that's near and dear to my heart because my first company was in car audio. And I remember the days, I remember very clearly the days where somebody was saying, you know what, one day this music is going to be on this chip that doesn't move, because in the day we were having problems of putting CDs in, and you put the bass up too high and it was skipping.
Start skipping, yeah.
And I remember that clearly. I'm like, that's going to be so cool. And now look at it. Look at what you're in your phone. Look at what's all over the place, all this SSD media. So things like that. I remember when my buddy, we were going to go out, and it's around 1996, and he's like, oh, come take a look at this. Like, what's up? Look, it's a new a website. It's called Google. I'm like, dude, what do we need that for? Come on, we already got Internet Explorer. Let's go. I remember that like it was yesterday. So it is amazing, and I can't wait to see what we're going to see in the future.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the movie Frequency when Johnny was like, Gordo, buy stock in Yahoo. He's like, Yahoo, what's that? So yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, well, Ryan, great catching up with you. Look forward to catching up with you later on this year and see how things are going, my friend.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it. And thank you for having us on.
Hey, it's my pleasure, my pleasure. Hey, when this is the last segment of the show. Hey, so I hope you guys enjoyed all of our great interviews. I tell you what Ryan and the folks are doing at CareGIVER Smart Solutions is really amazing, and we can take care of our loved ones. We can have peace of mind. So make sure you go and check them out and find out more information about this great piece of innovation. Okay, until next time, folks, take care of yourself. We'll be chatting with you soon. Take care.
In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the tech zone.